Everybody, today is the 3rd of September and happy September. And as always, we're gonna update something in the city first, okay? So the weather today is actually a bit very beautiful, and then it's actually a bit sunnier and hotter compared to previous for the past couple of days. And actually, yesterday was the 80th anniversary of independent, where we actually, like both the North and the South Vietnam united into one. Actually, no, that is back in April the April the 30th. Actually, when we talk about the independence, we are talking about the independence of Vietnam back in the 2nd of September of 1945. And I'm actually feeling very grateful to be a part of this event, to go through this day together in Hanoi City, especially because this is the capital city, so there's a lot of celebration activities going on. And where the marching yesterday was magnificent, and people has been practicing for 2 months. So I feel very blessed to be able to witness that. Of course, I was not the one. I was not the one who stayed up all night and then stay there for a while to participate in the whole march. People sitting there for days to be able to participate in this event. I only watch it from home, but then still I can feel the spirit, and it's actually very wonderful. And I feel very blessed to be able to be here and be there at that very moment. So that is something I would like to share with you all today. And we're gonna start with a pen story, okay? So what is this? It's a pen. What do we use a pen for? To write. Now there is a dog inside the room. I'm gonna wave this in front of the dog. What does the dog do? The dog probably will sleep, lick, or chew this, right? Does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So for the dog, this one is not a pen, but for the human, this one is a pen. So who is correct, the dog or the human? The answer is both are correct. For the dog, this one is a chewing toy, while for the human, this one is a pen to write. The dog is correct in the dog word, and the human is also correct in the human word. So that is our first lesson, both are correct. Now we both, and then so now let's imagine that there is a table in front of me. So I'm going to put this thing on the table, and then both the dog and I will walk out the room. So inside the room there be no human, no dog. What does this thing become? Is it still a panel chewing toy? Or it becomes almost nothing, and the ancient wisdom called this one as the emptiness. The emptiness is actually a very magical definition. As we understand the emptiness, we'll be able to achieve anything in our life. Just like Ishima Gorosh applied the emptiness into his business and was able to build a business with revenue $250 million a year. He's also able to help several refugees. So what is the emptiness? Why is that so magical? So let's go back to the page story, okay? So this thing is currently on the table, and when there is no human, no dog, this is almost nothing. But as soon as I go back into the room and I look at this becomes a pen. When the dog comes back to the room and the dog look at this becomes a chewing toy. And when both the dog and I come back to the room at the very same time, and we both look at this at the very same time, what does this thing become? It becomes two things, a pen for me and a chewing toy for the dog. So a single thing, when there's no human, no dog, nothing to interact with, it come back to choose and record the emptiness. But because it has the emptiness, also has the potential to become anything or anyone, depending on who or what is looking at that. And that is a very important lesson for us to know that, when we are just by ourselves with no one and nothing to interact with, we come back to our true self, record the emptiness. But it doesn't mean that we don't have anything. It doesn't mean that we are nothing. It's just who we are when deep inside what we are, who we are, when we do not interact with anyone. But because of the fact that we always, a lot of time, we always interacting with something, so we have the potential of becoming anyone or anything, depending on who or what is looking at that, or what they are thinking about us. That's the potential. Okay, and that is the second lesson. Along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. Now I see this as a pen. So does this pen coming from me, or does this pen coming from the thing itself? This pen is actually coming from me. Why am I so certain? Because if the thing is the pen is the dog or anything in this entire universe, we have to see it for what it is, which is a pen. But does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So this pen is actually coming from me. This pen is actually coming from my mind. And everything is actually coming from our mind. So that is our third lesson. Everything is actually coming from our mind. So we all agree that this pen is actually coming from my mind, right? So I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to believe this one become a diamond, okay? So please pray with me. Diamond, diamond, diamond. Open my eyes. It's still a pen. So what in my mind that forced me to see this as a pen but not a diamond? There are sit inside our mind that the ancient wisdom calls karma. When we see something that sits inside our mind pop up, open up and cover this and made us see it for what had been planted only into our mind. So who planted those seeds into our mind then? Only you can plant the seed into your mind, and only I can plant the seed into my mind. How can we do it? We do it by three ways: by our word, by our actions, by our thoughts, especially toward other people. So for instance, I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna say that I have the pen. Would you like to have this pen? And when my friend say yes, please, I'd be so happy to give this to my friend with the hope that I can help my friend. So when I give this to my friend, this palm will open up and both me and my friend will see it, and it's still a living mark in my mind. A couple days later, when I see this, I recognize this one as a pen, which means that the seed of the pen has already been planted into my mind. And now it pop up and open up and cover this thing and make me see it for what had been planted earlier into my mind, which is a pen. And this is how a pen become a pen, or anything surround us become what and who they are to us. In the pen story, there are several meaningful lessons. Today we went over 4 different lessons, and I actually like to talk about it in chronicle order, because I think it's very important for us to build from because everything, all the lesson is built up on the previous lesson, okay? So the first lesson is both are correct. So we learn to respect each other's opinion, we learn to respect each other's choices, and we learn to treat each other with a compassionate heart. And when we learn about that, we know that we know that both are correct. I mean that we are also correct. I think it's very important for us to acknowledge that fact that we are also correct. So first we have to truly listen to ourselves, understand ourselves, and respect ourselves. A lot of time in this modern world, a lot of time we lost that. We follow other people's opinion, we follow other people's expectation, and we let go of ourselves without noticing that. And we thought that we are doing the best thing for ourselves, but then remember, you are also correct as well. So making sure that you listen to yourself, you respect yourself, you understand yourself, you respect yourself. Once you're able to do all that with yourself first, you'll be able to find the peace and the happiness and the love within yourself. That is when you can spread the love to other people. And that is when you'll be able to listen to other people, you'll be able to understand them, to acknowledge them, and to respect them. And that is when the harmony in all your relationship gonna develop, and the love, the happiness, start sprouting. So I think that is a very important lesson. And that moves us to the second lesson, which is, but along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. So we learn to trust our potential, we learn to trust other people, everything surround us potential, and we learn to work toward that potential once we believe our potential. And I think the reason I say that this lesson is actually built up on the first lesson is, once we know, we accept ourselves, we learn to listen to ourselves, to understand ourselves, to respect ourselves, ourselves. That is when we'll be able to fully accept ourselves, our emptiness, when there's nothing or no one interact with us. And when you be able to accept yourself, that is when you will be able to see the potential in yourself as well. And the same process the same process actually can apply to anything or anyone around you. So when you see them for who they truly are and accept them fully for who they truly are, not for what you see in them, that is when you would be able to see the potential in them and working toward that direction. So we acknowledge both our emptiness as well our potential, so that we'll be able to walk steadily and nicely toward that direction into our best self. Okay. And the third lesson is that everything is actually coming from the seed inside our mind. So we be 100% responsible to whatever happened to us. We don't blame anyone, because in the end, we are the only one who can plant the seed into our mind. And that is absolutely true as well. A lot of time we learn to, we often, especially with things that not within that unwanted thing happen to us, we often think that it's because of this condition, it's because of this situation, because of these people. But then when we look back into ourselves, we decided to take responsibility to whatever happened to us, we know that okay, it might be that maybe this situation, but then how can that lead to what our action, what did we do in the past that led to that situation, led to that condition? And then it's all our choices, right? We decided what we do. Nobody can push us doing that. So even in the toughest situation, it's also our choice as well of what we decided to do. So it's all our action, our thoughts, our decision, our action. And then when we know about that, we also know that okay, it's us who can change our future. So no matter how things might look, how it can be really bad, it can be very painful, or it can be very painful or unexpected. But then it's us who can change it into the direction that we want. So we take full charge of our life, and we take full responsibility for our life. And that is when we can move it toward the direction that we would like to be, to the potential that we would like things to be. And that is the connection of lesson 2 and lesson 3. And then moving on to lesson number 4 is how we can incorporate all those lessons into creating or manifesting our dream life in a very certain way. So first you have to know what you want to achieve in your life first, right? By first knowing what you want in your dream life, using the potential and the emptiness of lesson number 2. And then you start planting those seeds into your mind using your word, your action, your thoughts, your other people. So for instance, if you want to have a happiness, then you start planting the happiness seed using your word, your action, your thoughts, your other people, helping other people to be happier. And just like that, whatever that you want, making sure that you use your word, your action, your thoughts, your other people, helping them getting that seed. And that is when the seed gonna be planted surely and nicely into your mind. But one thing I would like to remind you is that the seed, when the seed plant in your mind, there will be a day that it's gonna sprout up, and then you're gonna harvest the good thing from that seed. But then don't expect it, don't expect that it's gonna you're gonna harvest it right away. It doesn't happen that way, to be honest with you. Karma happen in the I think the beautiful thing, as well as beautiful, but it's also a good thing, is that we don't actually know when the seed gonna happen to us, when we harvest the seed that we do. And that's the reason why we just have to know that once we plant a good seed, we're gonna harvest the good seed, and when we plant the bad seeds, we also gonna harvest that. So once we know that, we start planting those good seed, the seed that we wanted to happen to our life. and eventually things gonna go into our good direction. And that is also lesson number 3 in there, right? So you, whatever that life that you want to be, so that is lesson number 2 right there. Your potential, whatever the life that you want to be, you see that potential, you plan those. That is lesson number 3. So that is going to become your life. So it's not just knowing the potential, but it's actually the action to work to that potential, to to approach that potential is something very important. So that is become a part of your life. It become your reality. And the lesson that I would like to share with you all today is about the independence. In the spirit of 80th anniversary of Independence Day for Vietnam. It's actually we watched the movie Red Rain or Bloody Rain, I would say that. Or we, and then the other is that the path in the path underneath the soil, underneath the earth. The now. So and I actually have to say that both of that is very touching for me, and it showed me the peace of the price of the peace that we are having right now. We are enjoying right now is all because of our previous generation who has been working tireless, and then they tirelessly, and they also will sacrifice not just the youth, but it's also their life, their blood for us to have this day. And one thing I really like about the new movie, the Bloody Rain or the Red Rain, is that it's actually a portrait both side, the communist side as well as the republic side in a very realistic way, and they portray the pain, their desire, their love, and then their commitment to their duty, and also and then the mother of both sides when they have to bid the farewell to their son, knowing that their son going to the war, and that the chance of them coming back alive is very limited, and that actually just gave me a lot of thinkings, because I do believe that war itself is something horrible, and whatever happened to us, is the way people treating each other. It's not that because we are all evil. It's just because of the war, that the nature of the war. And then once you want to, sometimes people want to be kind. I think everyone wants to be kind, want to be loving to each other, but then the condition won't let them that way. And when it's our humanity to be able to see past their action, to understand why they do it that way, and then we realize that how horrible the war is, so that we can better build our future, and then we can keep the peace that we are having right now. And it's all in our thoughts, in our action, in our work together, that humanity prevails. So thank you so much for listening to me today. Thank you, Anna, for accompanying me in this 3,000-day journey. And if by me sharing with you the pen story of my lesson is something good, I would like to dedicate that to my dearest family, to my friends, to my co-workers, to my clients, or to any living things in this world, any other words, with love, wisdom, and gratitude. And in this one, I actually would like to dedicate that to all the mothers, all the veterans, all the mothers, all the wife, all the fathers, all the children of those veterans who are all missing veterans who never come back from the war, or have come back with injury. So I hope that I will we really appreciate what they have done for the country and for the peace of our country, for the independence, what they have sacrificed, and we will try our best to cherish this peace So thank you so much everyone for listening to me today, and I will see you next week. Oh, I actually see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Have a good day.